We have some secret elf sewing going on behind the scenes. You are not going to want to miss this series. There'll be a couple videos to watch through, but stay tuned because at the end there's a super surprise. Hello, hello, hello. So it is the season to be getting ready for some holiday themed Christmas quilts. What I am showing here are blocks from a collaboration of all my wonderful online friends. This is not all of them, so this is probably going to be a multi-part video series, but I did want to walk through and show them. What we did was agreed upon red, white, and green 12.5-inch blocks to be sent to me, and then I will put them together into a quilt top. I will then also sandwich and quilt and bind. And Mona from Mona Did What's channel has offered the shipping to a winner. So someone out there in our lovely quilty universe will end up with the quilt, with the Christmas quilt. Size is to be unknown right now because I do not have a final count on our numbers, but I wanted to go ahead and walk through some of these blocks. So this is a fantastic wreath. I'm loving this plaid, and I don't know if you can see the tone on tone with the snowflakes. Then we have an applique sweater. So this is just lovely. We have this cute little tree. She even put metallic thread for a star. And then there is fuzzy cuffs along this one. It's adorable. We have elf legs with little golden jingle bells on the toes. Oh, so cute. The polka dot, is it like a diagonal gingham type of, the stripes, the snowflakes, it's just adorable. This one, I don't know the name of some of these blocks. To me, it reminds me of a flower with the petal, you know, the leaves, so I'm not 100% sure, but it is so pretty. I love this background. Isn't that so fun? And it almost looks like it's the same family for the green and then the same family for the red. It is so great. It says season's greetings, winter wonderland, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all the fun things. This is, oh gosh, it's not an Ohio star. It's an 8-point star of some sort. Super fun. These almost look like a miniature cheater quilt. Right, because you got the little blocks in there, or stamps. It has the holly, it has the dots. The tone on tone is stars. Love it. This one, again, don't know the names, I do apologize, but it is great, and the points are like fantastic. So here in the corners we have the red and white. Here in the center it looks like pins, possibly sewing pins. The tone on tone, love it. This one is all teeny weeny half square triangles, y'all. There's a couple little blocks in there, but it is such a fantastic block. A lot of love and hard work went into this one. So we have the small print, and then we have a little bit of a larger print, and then we have this wonderful tone on tone in the background. We have a present or two. So this collaborator did send two, and I love it. This is just, oh, it's so fun. Everyone is so talented and creative with their fabrics and what they're using and how they're able to make something the same but different. This one is another applique block. So Sunbonnet Sue. And she does have a dog with her. It has the multicolored red, white snowflakes. It has this really cute dot. I mean, seriously, can you guys see him? It's adorable. Then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, a 16 patch inside of an 8-point star. Love it. And I think she had a fun spin. It looks like 4-leaf clovers, but to me, it's really cute in this. And then these teeny tiny little dotted, I don't want to say florals, but those are great. This one, so it's a 6.5 inch there, but they did it 4 times with 4 different fabric combos, and it is a fantastic look in the end. I really, really love that. And here you can see those 4 main ones. This background is adorable. The little gold stars are actually kind of shining and glittering. Oh, look at the deer hiding in the corner. No, too cute. This one is a block with multiple white tone-on tones and then an applique star in the center. This background has like a touch of everything. You see the apples and the pine cones, the pears, the poinsettias. Love it. And this one just makes me laugh. When I first saw it, my brain went to 13-year-old little kid. So I don't know if you can see that. But I love it. It's a panel. And I believe she said it was part of an ugly sweater panel. But I like that she has the plaid here. And then she has the dots. And then she has the diagonal stripes. It is such a fun block. And still, I just have to chuckle at it. So what's going to happen is I will now start working on slicing and dicing some yardage. I'm gonna actually make like a shadow block type. So on the left and on the bottom, I will have this brown dry brush as the shadow. Just a thin one, maybe 1.5 inches across the bottom and 1.5 inches across the left. And then the right side will get this yardage. I apologize for all the moving in front of the, I didn't have it open. So then the top and the right will get a strip of this. I wanted to be able to mix the blocks, knowing that whites are different no matter who makes them, and knowing that the greens and the reds, everything was going to be a different, but they would coordinate. So when I went on the hunt for a background, this one has the creams and it has the whites, and then it has the silvers and the golds, knowing again that some, like on this one, used gold. And you know, you never know what the accent color was going to be. And on this one, it's like the little silver sparkly dots. So I did want a background that was going to be able to blend with the multiple blocks coming in. So I don't know if we could get that whole image in there. We're not going to be able to, but you get the idea. And then I was visiting my mother and I was telling her what I was doing, and she had yardage of this, and they're little quilt blocks. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for the full background, but I'm okay putting, you know, a strip down the center, turn it into a present. We'll figure that out. But look how it looks like a cheater quilt. And these are teeny tiny. I mean, the image itself is 2.5 inches. So, super fun. This will be the back. I do not think I'm going to have a border on the final quilt. We'll see how many actually come in. I'm hoping for an even number, right? 16 or 20. to give, you know, a grid style. And of course, if I have to make a block, I will. So the next step for me today, because I still have about a week left for some blocks to be coming in, I'm going to start doing some strip cutting. I'm going to do my 1.5 on this and my 1.5 on this. When I go to connect them though at the top of the block, it's not going to be a straight. It's probably going to have a 1/2 square triangle here, and then it'll probably have a 1/2 square triangle down here. Let me get some of that cut and placed, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you'll see here I'm starting to do my strips on the shadow fabric. I do double up when I have yardage off the bolt. I did one first cut where I cleaned and straightened, and then now I'm starting my cuts. I'm gonna do 1 3/4 for these. That way, once they get sewn onto both sides, they're going to finish at 1 1/4. And then when it comes to the background cream, I'm actually gonna do those at 2, so that when I go to square off, I can square off anything that I need off the 2 side. The only reason I'm thinking along those lines is that not all the beautiful blocks that I've received are the exact same size. And that's just natural in the sewing and quilting world. I don't think any of my blocks ever come out exact. So, I wonder if it's going to be too much of a glare. Get it on there. So that's a 12.5 inch squared ruler. If we put this block, okay, so this one is 12.5 across the top, but down the side, but it's just a little off. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna use the sashings to fix all of the inconsistencies in the block. This one is just a little oversized. So when I go to put the shadow here and here, I'm doing 1 3/4, and I'm not going to trim from those later. When I go to do the background cream, I'm going to do that at 2 inches, so when I go to straighten them and trim them down, I'll cut any of the excess sizing off of the white background. Let me keep going with my brown straps. So here's that cream background. Again, I have it doubled up. You can tell that one of the edges is straight, one of the edges is a little off. So what I'll do is I'll find a nice neutral straight line using my ruler down here at the bottom fold and up here where that selvage is. Get it nice and straight. My table is in the center of my room, so I can walk around it, cut it from this side, and then come back around and proceed to do my slicing. Now, I do need a couple of strips at 1 3/4 because I'm going to do sew and flip corners where the shadow block, like the shadow sashing ends. I'm going to put little sew and flip. So these are 1 3/4. They're going to go with my browns. Now I'm going to come in with the 2 inch. I don't have an exact count of how much I need or going to need. I just wanted to get started on some of these blocks today. So to finish off this video, I am going to go ahead and put the little sew and flips onto one of the blocks just so I can show you guys, and then I'll just have to come back for a part 2 later. So I'm going to take one of these brown strips, go ahead and clean off that edge. Since they are folded, I can cut 2 at a time. I'm actually going to oversize them, knowing that all the blocks are slightly different. So we'll go ahead and go 12 3/4 just to be safe. That'll be the left side. And then I'm going to go 13 3/4 for the bottom, and I am going to go ahead and double these up. Let me press them real quick. I do cut things on the fold. I do sew things that have that fold. The fold does not bother me. So we're going to go ahead and do this one at 13 3/4. So that's my left, that's my bottom. Everything is doubled up because they're all already stacked. We'll take the white, that's the right hand side. I need squares out of this one. And these squares are going to be my sew and flip corners. So we're going to go back down to that 1 3/4 marking. Go ahead and do it twice because you need 2 squares per shadow. So what I'm going to do, and I need to be mindful of, is the left hand side. We'll get a line on the diagonal, stitched on the diagonal with the background flipped to the outside. Then the bottom shadow will get its line on the diagonal, stitched on the diagonal with its background pointing out to the bottom right. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those, stitch those, and come back and show you. Okay, so for filming purposes, I did use a pen. That way it can be seen. I stitched and I put a little marking so I know that that's the side I'm going to trim off and that's the side I'm going to press to. And then I did the same thing up here. So I will go ahead, trim to 1/4 inch from that stitch line. These stay on the bottom because they are longer. I am going to put together from the left side and then the bottom, and then I'll probably do the right side and then the top. We'll see when I get there. Alright, let me get these sewn on. You'll see here that the first one, the one I did at 12 3/4, has been sewn to the left of the block. You can see it is a 1/4 inch too long. That's okay. I have a feeling on some of them it might actually just be where we need it to be. So I'll go ahead and trim off that little guy. And I'm going to come back in with that long one, the 13 3/4, and go ahead across the bottom. So here we go. The first block is shadowed. Now I need to do some measurements with the 2-inch background. We're going to go down this side first. So I do need to figure out. It's going to be roughly 13 3/4. keeping note over here. Background. You guys are learning as I do. It's going to be 1 at 13 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and pretend that is there. Then we're going to run that across there, measure that. That says 15 3/4. So we're going to minus a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So it's going to be 15 1/4. So I will not pre-cut that. I am going to go ahead and just do this side, get it on there, measure it after. So this final piece across the top is telling me roughly 15 1/2. Does that sound right to you guys? I am terrible at quilt math. I am going to be 100% honest with you. Quilt math makes my brain hurt. So it's almost 15 1/2, not quite. So what I'm going to do for this cut, again, is that slightly oversized. Because in the very, very end, when I get all of these made slightly oversized, I will probably come in here and trim them all to a 15 even. So that sounds good to me. 15 1/2 on this top one, making myself a note. Get that stitched up and show you guys the final first block. Okay, so I know it's not high enough. I wonder if I could get it high enough. Just uncenters me from the board. So you'll see all 4 are wrapped around it. This left side is straight. This bottom side is straight. I'm going to leave those as is. I'm going to bring them down here to an even number just so that it's easier for me to calculate on the grid. Now I'm going to trim to 15 inches to the right. And then I'm going to trim to 15 inches tall. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, perfect. Let's see if I can spin oil. I do have a spinning cutting mat, but I am not sure if a 15-inch block will fit on it. So as you can see, that was a little bit of an odd angle for me. And I wasn't able to press very hard. But you can tell it's just slivers. So I do like the idea of bringing those background sashings to the 2 inches just to have enough wiggle room to go ahead and trim them all down. Okie dokie, there's block 1 up on the wall. I will go ahead and keep working on some more, and keep in mind more blocks are coming in the mail, so video 2 will start with the new ones once they all arrive. Thanks so much for watching. A like, a comment, subscribing, and share is always greatly appreciated.